everything.
Oh, that makes you cry, Pa.
Well, fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been trying to rush to forget things. I stand too much.
There is a time for love and laughter. The days will pass like summer storms. The winter wind will follow after. But there is love and love is warm. There is a time for us to
We're about
wonder.
ready.
When time is young and so are we. The woods are green over yonder. The path is new, the road is free. There is a time
So this
when
is,
leaves are falling.
welcome,
The
this
woods
is-
are gray, the paths are
Start reading.
old. The snow
I'm
will
all flustered.
come when geese are calling. We need a
get some water, just in
fire
case?
against the cold.
I'm okay.
There is a time for us to wonder. When time is young and so
We could take a
are
break if we need to,
greener over yonder. The path is new, the world is free.
When we start recording, we can talk about day one to day now. There's a lot of ground to cover. So
Especially most kids don't realize the mill here.
When time is young and so are we. The woods are green
I'm giving the water.
over yonder. The path is new, the world is free. The path is new, the world is free.
There we go. I just opened
Well, I believe that's the prettiest thing I
it. There we go.
alright. Let's see if we can start this train over again. So this is Tuolumne Legends with Sgt R, and we have Dan Hillier to the left of me, and today we have Alan Comer is our guest. And thank you so much, Alan, for will be willing to do this and get your history and a story and kind of get better familiar with Tuolumne.
Yeah.
So, where were you born and when were you born?
I was born right here in Tuolumne. You know, the little street goes past the grammar school. It goes on this end.
Elm Street?
It could be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a street that goes into the west side over there, which has got the block up, but it's blocked off.
Yeah.
There's two houses right there, one right next to the alley. But it's a different house now, because that was way back in the 40s,
So what year was that?
1940.
1940. You were born in 1940,
Yeah. 81.
right here in Tuolumne. And at the time, what was your mom and dad's name?
Mom was Dorothy Elizabeth Comer.
Dorothy Elizabeth Comer.
My dad was Faye Arney.
Faye Arney.
That's where I get Faye. My Faye Allen, his was Faye Arney.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Now, did they were they born and raised here? Or did they move
No,
in?
my dad came from Oklahoma, but his dad came from Arkansas. My mother came from the state of Washington.
Yeah. Did you have grandparents here?
Yeah, well, I don't know what they were from. One was Robert. His name was Robert Allen Comer, my grandfather.
And did he live here too?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
And my grandmother, well, at that time, let's see, she was trying to find her brother, but she hadn't seen him about 42 years. So FBI got into it. And they found him in New York. And they got in touch here. His name was, I forget what his name, but part of the Dalton gang. He was related to the Dalton gang.
Dalton gang?
Yeah, Jeffrey James and them.
That was your uncle?
That was my grandmother's brother.
Oh, your-
Probably uncle.
Yeah. Was in the Dalton gang.
Well, he wasn't in it, but he was related to him.
Oh, he was related to him.
That's why I can say I get my Main Street.
Your mean street. Oh, yeah.
What street?
So, so now your dad at the time, was he working at the mill when?
Yeah, he was in the mill. He died in the mill.
Yeah.
Fell on sawdust, and they said we got one good brother in '57.
In 57.
Yeah, I was in 8th grade. I was 13 when he died.
1957. He fell in the saw Sawdust?
It was sawdust that fed the fireboxes and all that.
Yeah,
They say I only got one good brother because it was church time and everything else in it.
yeah. What did your mom do?
It was
Back
mostly
then.
house cleaning and all that, but she,
House cleaning?
yeah, well, she sent, stuck through, it was through high school. And last year I had to go through all my brothers on the money they were getting because I was 19, you know, because it was, when I was back in kindergarten, I was sick a lot. And they said, "Until you better stay back from kindergarten." So me and my brother went through school together. He was a year younger than me. My other brother was 2 years younger.
Were you the oldest?
Yeah.
And so you had two younger brothers?
Yeah, well, one's up in Seattle, up in Washington. He used to work for Boeing. He retired. He's got 2 kids, and his kids are married, and they've had kids. So.
Yeah. So where did you go to school? Do you
Right
remember?
here, elementary school here, but they didn't have nearly the classes they got now. They went, high school was an old Christian school.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember much about growing up in elementary school?
Not too much, but
Not
I
too
just
much.
remember I had Miss Rocha, and then my small brother had 2 of them. My small brother kind of hated her because he was left-handed. In those days, they forced you to write right-handed.
That was your brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he, so he can write with either hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then you, from elementary school, and now you're 8th grade and your father passed away, right? You're
Yeah.
about ready graduating, you're going into high school. So what do you remember about high school?
that in the mornings that we could be messing around with somebody here at train whistle. And we know it's time to get ready for school because the train went out 7:30 every morning. Exactly on 7:30 because they had a shack over here, we dispatch shack.
Yeah.
Because half the train were here and they go halfway up, take empty cars and bring the full ones back. The other half were up in the camp, and then they would bring the full ones down halfway and then take the empties back up. Because they had quite a few engines.
And that was back in 57, 58,
Well, yeah, about 60, well, 60 closed down,
60.
and 62, they had a big building on the other side of Westside office,
Yeah.
had a big fire in 62, that's while I was in between service.
Yeah, you had, when did you head off to the service?
59,
59.
I went to,
So you're quite young then.
I was 19.
You were just 19?
Yeah, that's why I went to school on my brother's money, 'cause I was, at 18, they cut you off. And
Dan was, in one of his interviews, he was talking about the train whistle. You remember that too?
The mill whistle. Yeah.
well, I had the regular train going out. So, but, see, he knew my younger brother, Bruce.
Yeah.
Did you play sports in high school?
Junior and senior, I played football.
Okay.
We won one game out of the 2 seasons. Of course, we was 150, we were playing schools for 500.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
played Snore, Calvaires. Well, that was fun, going on Calvaires. Not, they didn't have the road they had now. They had one that was so winding, by the time you got over there, you was bus sick.
Yeah.
Winding back and forth.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do you call it? The street they got here, not here in town, but the one to have all those wrecks on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Old Wards Ferry, going over to
Then
Groveland.
Fort Fair, there's also that other one. Yeah, Fort Fair, I noticed, we had one guy that came, he was asking Shook how to get to Groveland. We told him to go all the way back down below Jamestown.
Yeah.
Now he took the way over Thread Road. We sent a month later, it was a Sears truck. He said, I'm not taking that road anymore.
Right.
And he had a GPS, and they would tell him which way to go. Sometimes they'd get you on a bad road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
I'm gonna go
position-
ahead and go lock that door
Okay.
so we don't get interrupted anymore.
What position did you play in football?
I played defensive tackle. I guess.
Defensive tackle? Okay. Did you play any offense?
No, it was all defense. But we only, we played a little bit, but we only had 11 people, and someone could muster up.
Barely, but just enough for a team, huh?
Yeah, just like 11 people. I remember one time, we was playing, I think it was Linda or something, they were kind of hitting us. We had a guy by the name of Calvin Day. He went with the ref over and looked, and he went, "You want a guy?" Guy wanted to complain to the ref. I said, "I didn't see nothing." Look at the ref didn't say it. We didn't ever hear us after that. Calvin was kind of mean.
Calaveras?
No, Linden. I think.
Linden?
Yeah.
They were kind of mean.
Yeah, we used to play Linden and Lincoln. You know. But like I said, everybody else had 500. We were here with 155. Well, graduating class was 24.
So if you got hurt, the game over. We didn't have hardly
No,
enough
you
players.
played with
10.
10, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you have one extra.
Well,
Did you have one extra?
No.
No.
you just played with what you had.
Yeah.
And our school was the old Christian school.
Yeah. That's where the you've commonly mentioned that where John's Market was the field.
Now the football field. What was it called?
Ellis.
Ellis, yeah, Ellis Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ellis was he had big cattle, and he used to, when I was a kid, he used to drive cattle through right here, you know, where my home is, on that street, they got cattle right through there every year. You go from Baker's Ranch over here towards that, right above our football field was fenced off, and that was a big ranch. It was Roy Elvis's ranch up there, that's why they call it Elvis Field. So he gave us the land.
Wow. This was like football, the only main sport that
No,
you had?
we had basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
not so much on track, but.
Now, did you do all of it?
No, I just did football, buddy.
Just football?
Well, basketball, I did basketball too.
Of the basketball. Then did you work at the mill for a little
No.
bit? No.
I went straight into the service. I got out after 3 years. I was gonna stay out, but then the mill was down, so they had that big fire over there. Watchman walked by at midnight, nothing wrong. 12:15, the whole thing was blazing. They proved it was set. Boss said the workers there to get back at him, and workers said boss did get the insurance, but it had to be one of the laborers, because after boss left, they had fires after that set. They had one on the old box factory, right there. Then they had one on the trestles over there. And used to be 4 box cars out here in this park. When I was a kid, they had 4 box cars. 5 days a week, see a railroad come in, hook onto them and take them out. Okay? They were full of lumber and stuff. And they used to ship lumber all the way back to New York.
All the way back to New York.
Yeah.
So you mentioned so you saw the mill before it caught on fire?
Yeah, I went in, I went in 59, went to service, and the mill shut down in 60, but it actually completely shut down in 62.
Yeah.
But I was out I had 90 days from when I first got out to my second re-enlistment. But then I went back in because there was nothing here, put no work in them, so I went back in for the retirement. And that's how I got the retirement and I stayed in. Then when I was in the service.
Where were you stationed?
All over. I was stationed Fort Carson, Fort Lewis, Fort Riley, overseas Germany, Italy, Greece, Turkey. Then I went up and seen Denmark, Sweden, and Holland while I was there. And I makes you sure appreciate the United States.
Oh yeah.
See all those countries, yeah. Especially Turkey, and then I was stationed in Greece for a while too.
Now, this is after World War II. How was it built up still, or were they still building it back up? The European area.
Turkey, it would not eat pork because they had no sanitary way of doing pork. Because they were still crossing the sewer outside. They didn't have a sewer system when I was back there. I don't know about now because it's been almost 60 years.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's watching Turkey and Greece because those two don't get along and they border on each other.
Yeah.
Because Turkey is Muslim and Greece is all type of religion, you know. They're
Yeah.
Christians.
So you saw that there was a conflict even back there,
Yeah.
back then.
Well, it wasn't so much back then, because
Yeah.
I said more like now, because with all these atomic weapons, back
You spent some time in Korea too,
twice.
twice. What years were you over in Korea? Do you remember?
I'm 71, 72, and I pretty them. I was stationed. I wasn't on DMC, but I was stationed in Lubbock. And I was in what they call Honest John, which is a rocket off a 5-gun. And I figured I was nobody, but if I'd been ordered to go to Vietnam, I would have gone, but I wasn't going to volunteer for it because I knew what it was like. I was in during the whole conflict. Because I was in from 59 to 79. Got out 79, September 30th.
What was your job in the Army? What was your MOS?
Honest John.
Honestly,
It's-
rocket?
That's right. The difference between a rocket and missile. Missile's guided, and a rocket is aimed like artillery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my son was on the back of a 5-ton, so 5-ton got stuck in Vietnam. And I got a kicking away. My brother Bruce, he went to Thailand. He came back and he told us, he was like, he wanted to go back. He kept volunteering to go to Vietnam and all that. And they wouldn't let him go. Day after he got out, that whole division, he was in Hawaii, the whole division went over. Day after he got out.
Oh wow.
25th Division from Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's what he was in. I was in the Army, he was in the Army, and my other brother Lee was in the Air Force at the time. We had a lot of fun though. One day we got on the bus and there was a sailor in front of us. So we just wanted to see what he'd do. So he started cutting down the Army and I cut down the Air Force. We did it on purpose. When we got done, we had to show him our ID card before he blew his brother. He's counting his days and he just re-enlisted. I'm not re-enlisted, but he just volunteered. He was counting his days already. He had over 1,000 days. I said, why is he counting his days? It was some sailor.
Yeah.
Then like I said, when I went in, I said, PFC, private retiring, you know. And I was there about 12 years, and they said, it's a year I was been on E6, but it was 12 years. So I said, I had to make E6, you know. And then they said, if you're overweight, you're out, you know, because we had to.
You never had a weight problem, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no.
I had only weight problem I had was putting on weight.
Yeah. How big were you in high school?
Well, actually, I got a kick. I was about to say, you know, pretty tall in high school. I was the tallest kid.
Yeah.
Well, I did better on the PT test when I first went in, and after I was in it for 8 weeks in the service. Well, I used to do a lot of running and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to.
So where were you at during Vietnam? Because you kind of missed Vietnam, but you were in it that whole
And I was
time.
in probably career once.
Yeah.
Germany, I was in. Now, I had fun in Germany. We had an old outfit moved from Darmstadt, Germany, was by Frankfurt, moved all the way up to what they call Kisken. I hated that. Darmstadt, you had a lot of female, you know, because they have, you know, anytime you don't have enough female, you're going to have problems.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I went to Darmstadt, and that was everybody, well, that's where they gassed up and all going up the Graph, which is, we fired rockets and everything.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're kind of like that was like Cold War defense.
Yeah, I was in there.
That was a lot of what you
Yeah,
were
and I
doing.
was in during the Berlin Wall, when they said everybody's on alert.
Yeah. So
When
what
it-
was happening with Berlin Wall?
When they would put it up,
Oh, when did they put it up? What year was that?
I forget what year. It was some year or something, I might be wrong, but Air Force, Marines, everybody was on alert.
Just because they were building the wall?
Well, they were having a lot of trouble beside it.
Besides that, that's why they built the wall. They were having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, 'cause
I think there was a face-off
Now, because
at some point there, yeah.
well, it was a lot of people were escaping from East Germany into West Germany. They didn't like that. They were telling how bad that you could, you know, Russia was saying everything when they came back to Russia.
Yeah.
Now, were you there when they tore the wall down?
No,
No, he got out in '79.
Okay, yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
after, huh?
Yeah, it was like that was around
Yeah,
the '80s.
I was, but the-
Now, you never got married the whole time?
no,
You've never been married your
No.
whole life? Uh-huh. You have any long-term steady girlfriends or anything for a while?
not right now, but for a while.
For-
Not now,
Not now.
yeah.
You never had any kids?
I might have over 3 or something, but
You-
I don't know.
You don't know?
I had one over there, I know she was money hungry, but she wanted to come to the United States, but
Yeah.
yeah. Tell she was mine. Of course, both of them, when I was over there, I knew it was some kind of, we got 10 grand and gave it to a whore over there.
Oh no!
And she took off and started a taxi business. Of course, that set her up for life.
Wow.
The first thing you learn is don't give all your money away.
Yeah.
You, Craig, he set up a new well, we called camp because it was so small.
Yeah.
And he set up a camp here, and in a couple of weeks there'd be a village around it.
Oh wow.
That's well, prostitution was their main way to get the most money.
And that was in Korea.
Yeah.
You just had to put a camp here and there,
Yeah.
and then just the villages would just grow
Yeah,
around
just
it.
go-
Some things never change.
No.
Do you have any like so '79? You did you want to stay in after that, or is it
No.
like '79, like 20 years, you're done?
Yeah, 20 years. I'm for the retirement.
Yeah.
20 years. I'm 20 years and 16 days.
And you still collect that retirement today, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, it's my best income right now.
Your best income.
Yeah.
Now, did you go to a job after you got out? Did you?
Yes, I worked for a cleaning outfit, but he spread too thin. He had about 6 people, Kellogg's cleaning, but we had like 6 offices on 5 floor at the time, and then we had 6 offices downtown Sonora, but 6 of us we do it every night. There wasn't enough people. Of course, they tried to get by.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever work for Hatler's Mill?
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years. When did you do that?
After I got done with Kellogg, I worked at the mill there on a green chain. On the,
At Hadler's?
yeah, worked on a green chain, and I had 2 girls work with me, and they were good. They were real good.
2 girls working with you?
Yeah,
Wow.
they put me to shame every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
Were they big girls?
Yeah.
Are they big, strong girls?
Yeah, in fact, one of them got married while I was there.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so you lived here did you live here in Tuolumne after
Yeah.
'79? So you would commute all the way over to Big Hill?
I drive myself, because
Yeah.
I had a vehicle then.
Yeah.
One time I got a ticket, got behind some Japanese tourists, I was running late. And they just going 5 miles an hour, that Big Hill Road,
Oh, yeah.
you can't pass on it.
Yeah.
And,
Did
So-
you run them off the road? What
I
happened?
got back down, when I got there, I said, I got behind some people,
Yeah.
they were Japanese tourists. And then, one day I go around this curve, there's a girl coming the opposite way.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't see around, but she's clear on my side.
Yeah.
And the guy right when he said, you should go tell her husband was there too at the mill.
Oh no.
So we did tell her, we told him, tell your wife, stay on her side.
Yeah.
Now, is that the way you went? You went down through Columbia and up
No, went through, long
Longeway?
way, right, out that way, Middle Camp Road,
Yeah, okay.
past W School,
Mm-hmm.
then on to the, because it was quicker that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you could come down, the road comes down from there, comes into, that'd be about where the VA is, down a little further, the road comes in down there. We're coming about where that new Wilco is down there, the road goes all the way up. Sometimes we take that if we had to go like to Walmart or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you save time.
10 years at Hatler Mill. Then what'd you do after Hatler Mill? I mean, were you there when it shut down?
No, that was partly, but then it kept reopening, kept a small, because they were breaking so many rules. They had a big fire. And I worked 18 years for Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah, after that.
Yeah, well, I worked 16, retired, and they said, once, actually, they call it maintenance, but it was just a janitorial service what it was.
Yeah.
But they said, why don't you come back? We don't have no maintenance man. And so I came back for 2 more years.
Wow.
Yeah, I retired after that. I've been retired after that way.
Did you get a retirement out of Jack in the Box?
No.
You were there for so long.
Well, I had, what do you call it? 401.
401k.
Yeah,
out of that?
I
Wow.
got 12 grand out of that. I had vehicle I bought and I used it to pay it off.
Do you remember much about the Tuolumne Lumber Jubilee growing up?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. So what can you tell me when you were a kid about the Tuolumne Lumber Jubilee?
Well, right before my time, but where it started was when the depression got over with.
Yeah.
Well, before it got over with, actually, the mill went back to work. And they hung a little, I remember saying, hang efficiency. Then the loggers started pulling against the miners, you know.
Loggers against the miners.
Yeah, and they outlawed it in the Olympics. They said it was 2 strings, and with the cleats. I think it was 32 or something they allowed in the Olympics. There was 2 strings.
Yeah, but it was okay here. They didn't outlaw it here.
No, it was just and we had,
Did your dad ever pull on them?
no, my dad didn't, but well, I got 2 nephews that pulled on it. I got one pulled 13 years and the other one pulled 10, and I've got another one. We call him our nephew, but really it wasn't him. My brother took care of him when he pulled on about 7, so I had lots of. And then we had one guy came in. He tried to take over the Jubilee, but he left out tug of war. Next year he was out.
Oh, he didn't have the tug of war?
No, he didn't have tug of war. I think he was trying to pocket the money for himself.
Really?
Yeah, and we got it kicking away. Had a bunch of weightlifters come in, and we asked them, you want to split it? They asked them, you want to split the price like 50-60? He said, no, well, 60-40.
Yeah.
60-40. There's no, whoever wins gets on because they said they're going to win. Come around and they pulled it right off, and they lost, so they didn't get no money.
Oh no.
Now, they thought they could, just because of weight, they thought they would do it.
Yeah.
But the guys here have been pulling so long, they had heart in it. A lot of times when they practice like trying to pull a car or something, you know. And I think one time I think it was about 7 cleats he'd lose. No, saying 6 cleats. Anyway, 5 cleats. They were that one. They found 1.
And they won. They were down 5 cleats and they came back.
Yeah, they almost lost by 1 cleat.
Do you remember was it always like loggers versus miners, or did it would change year to
It
year?
would change, guys.
Like Tuolumne versus Jamestown.
Yeah, Jamestown, yeah.
What were some other ones that you remember?
Yeah, baby snore. Then they started out. We had a junior tug of war, which is
When do you think the junior tug of war
started
started?
a couple of years ago.
Well, I know it's been going on the last 10 years or so, but do you think
Yeah.
is that really more recent? So we didn't have a junior tug of war in like the 60s or 70s
Yeah.
or 80s. No.
No, but because no, usually juniors Summerville High against Nora High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were in the service, did you take leave and come home?
Yeah, leave, and after sometimes took leave and see another country like I said, Amsterdam, I've seen Denmark, I've seen Sweden,
Yeah.
and I've seen Holland.
How many times a year would you take leave?
Maybe once a year, about
Once a year.
take 30 days, you know.
So was there how long of a period were you gone out of Tuolumne or didn't visit? Do you?
Yeah, well, a couple of years, because I spent 20 years served, and that was the only,
But typically you'd come back.
yeah, on leave or something.
Yeah. Did you usually come back during the holidays, or did you come back during the lumber jubilee?
I had to come back during Christmas. Or
During
something.
Christmas. Do you we have the cross on Mount Havilah
Hmm?
Do you remember when that was put up?
I don't remember exactly, but usually on the old cross, you could go right here, go right across, past the reservoir going up and go down that way to the old cross.
Do you know how old that old cross is?
No, it was there when I was a kid.
Yeah, because I've always thought about that, like how old that cross is. I mean, that cross could be in the 1800s, possibly.
Yeah, it could be.
During Summerville, or because it went Summerville, Carter, Tuolumne, correct?
Well, actually, Carter was up that way.
At one time, was it Carter and Summerville?
No, Carter's mostly been up.
Yeah.
Where you go down towards the river, where you turn off, go towards the cross.
Mm-hmm.
It's that area, and then most of it was Carter. This
Yeah,
was
that was-
Tuolumne down.
Yeah, that was the first part of Tuolumne. It was
Yeah.
the end of Carter area.
Yeah. And then, well, Summerville before that, the whole
Yeah. Summerville going back to like 1880.
1884, something like that.
1884.
There's a sign out on it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, that cross. I'm really interested in trying to find some history
I don't know.
on the older cross because that is really old.
Yeah, is there anything on that over in the museum? Is there,
Possibly, we'll probably have to check that out.
Yeah.
And then I know we have the photograph of the Veterans Cross up here on the wall that hopefully I can post a little later. And that was shortly after World War II, if I remember
That's
right.
probably the same cross. But
Yeah, it's not the same cross as we have today. Do you remember
No.
when the original cross had fallen over?
no, I don't, because I was in a service at the time.
Oh, you're in service. So that would have been in the 70s, possibly 70s.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we used to just walk past the river on, get on top of the hill, you could see the cross from it, and just walk down to it, but now it's all fenced in, all private property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a local monument.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every year, you still go up there every year for Easter?
I don't know how you
Sunset?
even get to it anymore.
Oh, you can.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they had a service last Easter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Easter that way.
You're going to have to catch a ride up there one of these times.
Last Easter, I've been up to those service, but you go up, like you're going out to the river,
Yeah.
like with First Avenue, go up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to turn and come in, and there's I forget what it is, there's a religious group that owns that land up there.
Mm-hmm.
They have to open the gate for us,
Yeah.
and so we have to call them. They wanted to bury all of their stuff, you know. They figured the war was going to end.
Do you remember the mines still working on that hill, Mount Havilah?
I don't really mind, but
I know there's two mines up there, and there was an old stamp.
there's another one too, the Dead Horse Mine. You go up to the reservoir and then follow canal down. You go right past Dead Horse Mine.
Dead Horse Mine.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain where that is again?
You have to go down the canal, and
Canal? Where's the canal?
it goes into the reservoir. That's how we get our drinking water.
PG ditch.
And is it on this side of town?
And it goes both sides.
Oh, both sides.
It comes in this way,
Mm-hmm.
then it goes through the reservoir where they do the water, and then it goes back out, you know, on the other.
There's dead. So you call it the Dead Horse Mine, and
Well, because the horse fell down, and it was a mile down, and it killed the horse. Uh-huh.
do you remember what it was actually called after that or before that?
I don't know before I could, it was that. We used to climb down in it, we weren't supposed to, but,
Oh yeah.
but now you can't climb in, because I think they got it all.
Well, when you were talking earlier about loggers and versus the miners during the tug of war, it kind of just sparked my interest of like, were these mines still operating?
Yeah, somewhere, one down in Benstown, of course, that's been operating lately.
Yeah, but like here in Tuolumne,
No, they,
do you remember growing up as a child and the mine still running over
no,
here?
not too much.
Yeah.
But I remember when they were fighting a fire over by Columbia, over by Columbia, Fall Flat Road,
Yeah, Shaw Flat Road.
they had to watch out because they could fall into a mine. There were a bunch of mines over there.
Oh, while there's a fire going.
Yeah, it was forest fire. I mean, somebody was growing marijuana, a couple of Mexicans.
Oh yeah.
Well, they caught them, but
Remember what years was that when that fire what you're talking about in Columbia?
well, I'm not sure, but it was after '79.
After 79, so it was in the 80s.
Well, I remember when I was young, we had forest fire, but we didn't have them here as big as we have now.
Yeah.
Of course, even the Indians burn out, they burnt the whole underground out, underbrush out. To get that heavy stuff out of there.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the heavy stuff, then when you get your forest fires, they're not so hard to contain. But if you leave underbrush, that'll get your trees and stuff.
Growing up in Tuolumne, did you ever go out cottonwood camping and fishing?
All the time.
All the time. How was the forest back then? Was it really thick or was it fairly thinned?
That's kind of, well, what they do, they go out and try to, clean it out by thinning it out. We had, a lot of times we have what they call timber sale.
Mm-hmm.
What it was, they give you a certain area you go to, and they come and mark the trees that you could cut, and they get a lot of the cuts out, so the trees would have plenty of space to grow up, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be all crowded in like they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a lot of them. I haven't even heard of any timber sale lately. Going out and getting plywood, that's different. This was rather a timber sale. I mean, you could, and a lot of people would come from the city, and they get these timber sales. They have these big trailers on the back, their trucks and stuff, and they take it down to the city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and well, it's set up for
When do you remember this happening?
quite a bit. And
Like what years? Do you remember?
I would say 90s.
So during the 90s, people were logging out of our forest and taking the logs all the way down into
There
the
wasn't
city.
any logs, it was just timber sale.
Just the timber sale.
Yeah, they'd come in and mark what timber you could take out.
Yeah.
And then people would take it down to the valley and they get 3 or 4 times more than what it would sell for up here. Because
Wow.
valley people would pay it.
Yeah.
They had wood stove, but back in those days, they didn't worry about if you had a stove or not. They didn't worry about clean air like they do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember it pretty smoky in Tuolumne growing up?
Not really. The only time very smoky is when we had the complex fire,
Yeah, it was in the 80s, wasn't it?
78.
78.
It came, you know what Reservoir Hill is?
Yeah.
It was coming down that hill, and they said 5 minutes, the smoke hadn't changed. This whole town had been gone.
Wow.
It's been burnt down 3 times already.
Wow.
But, they got some pictures at the museum in 32. Fire came from this way and burned all the way up to Pine Street. This whole side of town was gone.
In 32?
Yeah, you can see those up in the museum.
And the fire came from Tuolumne Road?
Well, it came from where the mill was. In fact, the mill had to blow their lumber on one fire to keep from catching.
Wow.
They had to dynamite the lumber, they had it all piled up.
They had a dynamite it to put the fire out?
Well, they had dynamite get the lumber so they could get the lumber out of the way.
Oh.
Otherwise, the lumber would catch and then the whole time be gone.
Wow.
Mhm.
Man, that's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Growing up in town, what were the go-to places? What were the restaurants and hotels?
We had Tilly's. We had which was a soda fountain.
Ratelli's?
Tilly's.
Tilly's.
There was a fire, movie house is.
Yes.
That was right across the street. There was soda and ice cream place.
Yeah.
That was real good.
Yeah.
And it burned down, but then also you had Kimball Hotel up there. When I was a kid, we had a bus, Greyhound bus would come here every day and stay here overnight. And the guy was staying in Kimball Hotel up there. It was actually about two different buildings up there, different rooms. But he stayed there every night. In fact, his name was Ron Parker. His son was one of my best friends. His son was Ron Parker too.
Mm-hmm.
He did band for a long time, high school band.
Uh-huh.
You remember actually watching movies in the old movie theater?
Yeah.
Wow. How many seats do you remember there being in there?
I don't know the exact number of cities, but there's quite a few.
Yeah. What kind of movies do you remember watching?
They had different kinds, you know. Of course, being a small town, you couldn't get the best movies, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember one favorite one?
Not really.
Yeah.
Then there was a movie called Silver City.
Service City?
Silver City.
Silver City?
Yeah, it was filmed here at Westside Mill.
Oh, a movie that was filmed here?
Yeah, we had a couple. They filmed a lot here.
Yeah.
What's the name of that one? Can't think of it.
Little House on the Prairie? We had one.
Yeah, that was but there was no. I knew.
High
That
Noon?
was filmed here.
Really? Do you
The
remember?
The Catholic church they were talking about was the Catholic church up there now.
Wow.
There's a lot of movies around this county.
Do you remember, well, Dan, you were saying something about Alan growing up. You were the biggest kid in school, weren't you?
That's always
The tallest? Did you have any fist fights with anybody?
not too many.
Not too many?
No, we were so small. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I mean,
Everyone got along pretty good?
yeah. Like the whole town gets along pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in our days, you could come in to Tuolumne if you didn't try to be a big shot. I mean, nobody bothered you. If you tried to be a big shot, you had the whole town on you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did we have any sheriffs or police stationed out here a lot?
We had 2 constables at that time.
2 constables.
Yeah. Snow took them away.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're the volunteers, but Snow took them in the trash. And you know where the fenced-in area is up there across from the Methodist church?
Yeah.
That was the courthouse.
Yeah.
And I used to get a kick. I'd sit there and be listening and call off these different guys, you know, for jury duty. He'd say, Mike Comer. I said, he's too young. There was another Mike Comer.
Yeah.
My brother at that time, he was still in school. He said, I don't think he ever graduated, Bruce.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But he got the best job of all. He worked for Boeing for 30 years.
Yeah. Right out the gate? Or did he have some military service, I thought you said?
Yeah, he had 3 years,
In the Air Force?
Army,
Army?
and he was stationed in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's when he got out, his whole division went over the next day to Vietnam.
After he got out.
Yeah.
One day after he got out.
And what do you remember about the courthouse? Did you go down there and hang out and listen to him, or?
No, we were on jury duty a couple times after I got out of the service.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s.
By 80s, 90s, you know, like that.
So when did the courthouse shut down?
What?
Probably seems like some in the 80s, sometime in the 80s.
Wow.
Because I had jury duty there in the 70s.
Yeah,
So it must have been in the 80s, sometime in the 80s, yeah.
yeah, something.
Alan, were you involved in planting any of the penny pines when they did the penny pines when you were in Scouts?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I've been scouts when I was a little boy, but you can't even find a scout up here in town anymore.
No. Did you meet here in the?
Yeah.
In the,
It made Eagle Scout, you know,
where did you have your scout meetings?
right here.
Right here in the basement? Was it in the basement?
Well, I forget, I think it was. Yeah, 'cause that was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Do we have a picture of a bunch of scouts on the wall up there? Does those guys looking familiar?
No, most people I had went through so many, I have a hard time remembering people.
Yeah.
I have people call on the other side of the road and they'll call my name. I said, who the heck is that?
Right.
Well, I've been moving every year in the service, you know, and you go through,
Oh yeah.
you go through so many people. And I remember our post office, it used to be over the Westside office.
Mm.
They moved from here over to our parks and records, that was our post office one. By the time I went into service. And anything after that. And then moved up here. They said they were gonna have to move again from where they are now.
Yeah, they were talking about it, but I think they're okay. I don't think they're gonna do it now.
Well, what it was, whoever owned the land was gonna double the rent.
Oh yeah.
The Westside building that they tore down,
Yeah.
do you remember, what do you remember about that?
Well, first, they got a bunch of pictures of the museum. It was a 3-story building, and burnt down, and they built it back up to 2 stories.
Now, was there, when you were growing up, what was in there? Was there a store?
When I was growing up, there was doctor's office. We used to call him horse doctor.
Horse doctors?
Yeah, he wanted all the exams for sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there a store? Was there a store in there?
No, there was no stuff, but it was just doctor's office in there.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like Tuolumne was pretty self-sufficient. Where was the general store when you were growing up?
We had a small store over here with we call it red and white. That was a small one we had.
And that was back in the 50s? And they had the little store back in the 50s?
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up, I'd go to the little store as a
Yeah.
child too.
And then what was the main store?
Probably Talbot's.
That's how, you're right.
Was Talbot's where the warehouse is?
Yeah.
So that was like those are the two main places, Talbot's
Well,
and the little
that
store.
it was more like a hardware store.
Yeah.
In fact, I got half the stuff I did my sewer on, ABS stuff, I got from there.
Yeah.
Now, you gotta go all the way to store to get a 5-cent boat.
Yeah. If you can find a bolt for 5 cents.
What about the bakery? Do you remember the bakery?
Not too
Growing
much.
up? No, really? Okay.
Yeah, there used to be a bakery up, where the post office is, you come down this block on Chestnut, almost across from where, Burns is. There used to be a bakery on that side.
Oh, where that vacant lot is?
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, and then this, right here, this mortuary, that was, where you, like you kill a deer or something, you bring it in and they,
Oh, the butcher shop?
yeah, that was,
Oh, the mortuary was a butcher shop?
yeah.
Wow. What? Now that's some history right there.
Yeah.
Do you remember who do you remember who ran the butcher shop or what the
No,
names
no.
were? No.
No, but
When did John's Market come in that whole
he used to run the market over,
over on Monoway?
yeah.
Yeah.
Recently he moved over here because the guy over there said he's gonna double his rent, you know, from 1 year to the next.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
moved. Because, I don't, well, I think it was a market up there before him. 'Cause,
Yeah, somebody else had it before him. Yeah.
Poor John.
yeah, they were, yeah, 'cause
Now, what church do you go to?
Methodist,
The Methodist church across from the courthouse?
yeah.
Yeah. And you've been going there for what, 30 some odd
No,
years?
I used to go, what do you call it, Holy Rollers, you know,
Oh,
Pentecostal.
yeah.
That used to be, church on Madrone Street.
Yeah, the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close by. That was a Pentecostal.
That's the first church I ever went to. I'd go there with Richard Mullins, my godfather.
Yeah. Well, my sister-in-law, it was one of her uncles that built that, and they cannot tear it down. It's historical. It's the oldest church in town, 1901.
Yeah, 1901.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the oldest church in town, so they can't tear it down.
I think there's somebody living there now. Isn't
Yeah.
Yeah, they've remodeled it. I've
Yeah.
actually got one of the benches out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of the old
Well,
benches.
they-
Oh, that's where that bench came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said, what was it? They built it in Then I was right next to it, used to be the parsonage for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the house was sold, then they sold it to higher up, and higher ups didn't want to fix it because it cost too much. Because there's double wall, but there's no insulation in between the walls. You feel the wind coming through it,
Wow.
but you know, so they sold it, and there used to be, first it was a girl who take care of her dad. Her dad had an old timer. Of course, he could walk around town, he didn't want to get lost here in town. She had an idea with him until he passed away, and then she sold it. I think from these people bought it.
Now, how long you been with the VFW post?
Not very long.
Oh, not very long?
Because a long time, I said, I don't want anything to do with military.
Oh, yeah.
About 20, 30 years, something like
Wow.
about 10,
Because you're like the most faithful member we have.
that.
And
That's
like,
a reason.
Alan's here every meeting. I mean, there's
Yeah.
very rarely do you miss a
I
meeting.
missed one because I forgot.
Yeah.
And I missed one because you guys had it the day before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you had it by
Well, that's when we changed the day, huh?
Yeah, I think it was during Christmas or
I
something.
think everybody missed that one.
Yeah, because we came down, we had some other meeting here, some other, I think, a religious group or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you survived COVID. You had COVID for a little bit.
For 2 days.
For 2 days.
But it was got me down for quite a bit.
Yeah.
I knew I had it because my brother had it, him and his wife both had it, and I've been around them.
Uh-huh.
But now, see, I'm vaccinated now.
So but you had it and you got vaccinated? Wow.
But I had it then.
Yeah.
It was about 30 or 40 days later I got vaccinated. I got with the Johnson one, the one that had all the problems with it.
Yeah. Was that a 2-shot?
No, it's one shot.
1 shot?
Now I got it back out again.
Man, I saw you after you were done with your quarantine, and it looked like it took a lot out of you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. You didn't have much weight to lose.
Well, a lot of people tell me, don't let the wind get too strong to blow me away.
Yeah.
Uh,
How long have you not been driving?
Well, I say about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, well, what happened? I got bad corner eyes in my eyes, both eyes.
Yeah.
I've been like a passenger in the back seat with my brother driving. I see a bear coming our way. It looked like it was coming right at us. I know it wasn't, but it's just because and I had both eyes operated on. Then I used to wear glasses all the time, and I had an operator. I don't hardly ever wear them anymore.
Yeah.
Now, did you wear glasses in high school? Did you have glasses then?
Yeah, and that's one thing I couldn't understand. I was to serve for 20 years. They said, we'll give you glasses because you wore them before in the service. And you could never find out what was wrong with my eye. And after I got it out, I was out for a while. When a guy he said, you got a lazy eye. And there was a pencil trick. It says, follow the pencil. And why couldn't they find that in the service? I mean, just a pencil trick, you gotta follow the pencil.
Yeah. That seemed you haven't had no health issues growing up your whole life, right?
Well, kid mainly, but not.
Oh, when you were a kid, you had a lot of just.
Yeah, I was sick a lot. They made me stay back in grammar school. Yeah. But I stayed back in kindergarten. That's why me and my brother went through together.
Did you ever have your tonsils taken out or anything like
Yeah.
that? Oh, was that early on?
Yeah, they said were pretty bad. So
Yeah. And then it got better after that.
yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that my nephew just got his tonsils taken out because his nose wouldn't stop running. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
well, they said mine were real bad. It was all rotten on when they took them out.
wow.
That was before I went into service and all that.
Where'd you go to get your tonsils taken out back then? You remember?
I remember my brother being born. What was it called? Columbia hospital, but
Columbia Hospital?
yeah, it used to be a hospital right across from the street from Sonora High School.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a high school, I mean, it's not a hospital anymore, it's something else.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that. Then we used, for a long time, when I got out of service, I mean, the hospital been down by the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got this, then we had, oh, the other one, the general hospital over there. You go in the snow down one street, go back over by rail tracks, and there's a hospital over there.
Yeah, the general. Tuolumne General
Oh,
Hospital.
the VA office is there.
Yeah.
That's one thing we go to, yeah.
Do you go to the VA now?
Every once in a while, like
Every
if I
once in a
have some issue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your? It's kind of hard to say when you look at all the history that you've seen in Tuolumne.
Yeah.
What was your favorite parts about Tuolumne, or do you got any things that you miss about Tuolumne nowadays?
Well, when I was in service, there was all the crimes the big cities had.
Oh, the crime.
Yeah, you walk down the street, you look at somebody wrong, and they'd be wanting to get on you. Pickpockets and all that.
But up here it wasn't like that.
No, because everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's so small. Somebody, one of the parents would go out and they see some kid doing something, I want to tell your mother. And they would go and tell the mother, and you got back to your mother. Said, you did this or that. And she'd punish you.
Oh yeah.
'Cause everybody took care of all the kids here in town.
Yeah. Is there anything special you remember about doing things in the Memorial Hall here? What was the big? Did they have like a lot of donkey basketball back in the day, or they have dances?
Not a lot.
A lot of dances. Dances.
Yeah, we had
Was was like a few throughout the year, or was there like an annual event?
not really, just one every once in a while.
Just every once in a while.
There really wasn't that much to do, of course. You go, every place you go, everybody complains there's nothing to do. Even in the city, it takes money to do things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you have any favorite fishing holes out Cottonwood when you were growing up?
All over.
All over.
Yeah.
What were the?
A bunch of creeks we used to go out and catch.
You got Basin Creek, you got Reed's Creek,
Yeah.
Little Clavey. Did you ever go fishing on the Clavey?
Yeah. Clavey, Reed's Creek. There's, what's that one? I don't know, a bunch of creeks out there, but we like to go on the small creeks. You go on, we could go on the lakes.
Cherry Lake.
Not Cherry Lake, but Maloney, Don Pedro.
Yeah, that's further down the hill.
Yeah.
Do you remember much about the old fishery, the fish hatchery down in Basin?
Yeah, we used to go there and see the small fish and all that.
And that fed all the streams and stuff.
Yeah. What they used to do, they go out, they used to go like, used to be like Tuesday and Thursday, they go out, see them out. But then everybody would be right there fishing, there'd be 100 people right there. So afterwards I said, we're not going to announce it anymore, we're just going to go out.
Yeah, right.
But fishing don't have a chance to get out of the way. Some of the fish got pretty good size in the streams.
You know, I remember growing up when the dam and the lake was still here. There was big trout down there
Yeah.
in
We used
Westside,
to-
just
one time-
huge guys.
One time we went from Turnback, we went way up Turnback,
Yeah,
across the reservation on up that way. I don't know how far we went up.
probably up to Sherwood, probably, right?
Yeah, way up.
And the fish were coming down, or you just
Uh,
remember just going up
I
and
just
down?
remember going down. Good. That was a lot of fun. Because you could hike any place, you go ahead. And then we had a weapon called Furry Remington.
What kind of weapon?
It was a rifle, but it was called 30 Remington.
30 Remington, yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna shoot across the, well, it was on the other side of the mountain. I'm shooting down there, across by the river.
About Basin Creek?
No, the actual Tuolumne River
Oh,
itself.
Tuolumne River.
I just said, I'm gonna shoot down, see if we can see any dust from this, cause you know, we're being so right, we can show up, but there was a big sandy area over there, and I could see there was nobody there.
Yeah,
So I shot that thing when it raced a dust storm.
yeah.
It was almost like a 30-30.
Did you do much hunting growing up?
I didn't do that. Hardly any hunting. I did mostly fishing.
Mostly fishing. Do you happen to remember my godfather, Richard Mullins?
Yeah. Like my brother used to go down and visit him all the time.
Yeah.
His wife and I went down visiting him one time. And he used to do a lot of cooking for Richard Mullins.
Oh, wow.
And Richard said, oh, he should tell his cook, he's a good cook to his wife. He was supposed to say that. And he had to cook a few meals for his wife, but he was real good he was a good cook.
Yeah.
He still is. Then she got what? My sister-in-law's got what they call degenerated eye, disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got one she can't hardly see. She has to go to Modesto. Well, they're going to Modesto today. Excuse me. Get shots.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like Tilly's was your favorite place to go for treats. Was that?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
That was your favorite place? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you ever go to Speaker's Garage and get a Pepsi and peanuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were over there a lot. And that's when we had a restaurant right over here. And they had a Greek restaurant. Excuse me. Right up, next down out from the hardware store. There was a Greek restaurant there. Real good.
Now I remember growing up that when I came to Somerville High School, the big thing was to buy a Pepsi and pour peanuts in it. And is that a Tuolumne thing? That,
I don't know.
That's the only place I ever heard of that. And but everybody in Tuolumne did that. They bought a Pepsi and poured peanuts. Did you ever do that? Did you buy a Pepsi?
I don't remember. But I made a Pepsi. There were speakers, and I wondered why Snore had to throw it down, because that would have been a relic.
Oh yeah, when they tore Speaker's Garage down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like we were losing a lot of old buildings.
Yeah.
But that Frosty, trying to get another Frosty. And they're supposed to build another building over here.
Yeah.
Supposed
Be
to
the new resiliency center.
Yeah, community centers.
I was hoping Dick's Chevrons would have turned into a Frosty.
I think we all did. Yeah.
Yeah, we were all hoping for
Yeah,
that.
they showed an Indian guy, he had a guy from India, and he had a store there for a while,
Oh, where at?
right at the state Chevron
Oh,
station.
at the Chevron station?
And then after that, it was nothing for a long time until just now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a fun. Then the other one, the one up there by Tuolumne Market,
What was that one called? That was by Tuolumne Market.
well, it was Steve, what was
Well, Jerry Whitehead was in there when he moved from where Dick Archie's station was over there, and then I think he sold it to somebody else.
that was, what was the guy's name?
It slips my memory, and
Yeah,
that's
me too.
where we're trying to catch. We
I'll
gotta
call you at midnight. When
Yeah, we gotta
yeah.
catch these things that are slipping from us.
Anyway, the guy, he got in debt, bad debt with the casino, because he got one debt, and he wanted to sell it for $1 million.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's not worth that much.
No.
He wanted to sell it so he could pay his debt off.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, they have gas tanks there too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking out the gas tank. There in the Chevron station.
Do you have any more questions that we might have forgot?
I'd sure like to get a Frosty back here.
Yeah, I would love to see a Frosty back too. That's kind of like one of my dreams. do for
What's your
Tuolumne.
favorite high school memory? What's your favorite?
It's kind of hard to remember.
What the thing you like best about Summerville High School?
Well, we could walk to school with, and I remember walking to, elementary school in about 3 feet of snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we'd be lucky to get a foot here.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was kids, we had a building over here where the swimming pool is now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It had like a Japanese roof or a Chinese roof on it. That was the dispatch office for the train. Yeah, because you had so many of them.
Did we have any? I mean, when I hear about the history of Tuolumne, we kind of had a little bit of everybody. Did we have Asian and Italians and
Yeah, we had a little bit of everybody.
yeah? And was that who built that Japanese style place?
That was built when they built the mill or something. Well, it belonged to Sierra Railroad.
Did they have that decor just in mind or something?
No,
Well, the one in Sonora was the same type of,
Same style?
yeah, same style.
yeah, it was the same people built it because it was sent from Sonora up to here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the depot in Sonora was.
Yeah, well, it
was
went to
same.
Jamestown, from Jamestown to Sonora and to here. Like I said, we used to have 4 boxcars right here in the park, and 5 days a week, Sierra Railroad would come in, pull them out, different lumber.
Mm-hmm. It kind of, when you think about Tuolumne County, it seems like Sonora's always had like the hub of everything.
Yeah.
Is there any like kind of backstory on that? I mean, because it kind of developed a lot of rivalries throughout our community,
Yeah,
right?
well, it used to be when we played sports with it when I was a kid, it always wound up in a fist fight.
Always.
Always.
And you were the biggest guy on the team, so
I
so you led the way, I'm sure.
Well, it used to be, what they try to do is try to get on the bus and just get us out of there,
Scare you out?
Well, I was bus guy, but,
Yeah.
uh,
Did you have a lot? Were the games like half the games down there, half them up here, or were they mainly
yeah,
down
we-
there?
and they had their own league until just lately.
Their
Yeah.
own league?
Yeah, they were the Bollard League, which is Oakdale down
Yeah.
there. But they couldn't win any games, so they come into our league, Mill League.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck in the middle. They're either they go outside, they're getting beat, but if they come inside, they're beating us. Right there in the middle.
Yeah, 'cause they got a lot more students than we do.
Yeah.
That's why I say, when I was kids, we just had like 150 in the whole school. And year after I graduated, they had 300. Because Judge over in Calvert said, Snow, quit taking out 300 kids, that's not your district.
Oh yeah.
That's just the federal judge. So they had to pause.
Wow.
And they just recently quit taking from John Peter, well, not John Peter, but Groveland area. We had a bus coming over that Woods Ferry Road every day.
Yeah.
And going back, that's that curve where that bridge is, it's a bad curve.
Oh yeah. So it took a federal judge to stop Sonora from taking kids from Twainhart
Yeah.
and up the hill. And you remember when that was? What year was that?
60 is when they started coming to our school.
Yeah, in in the 60s.
Yeah, 'cause I got out, I went from 150 for, in fact, my graduating class was 24. And next year they doubled the size.
Like what year did they move from here to the new school? I think we had talked about
They got
that
the new
before.
school in 62, and they filled it up in 65.
62 and filled it up at 65. Huh?
Yeah, when they condemned it and said it can't be a school,
Yeah.
and now it's a school again. Of course, they fixed it up.
Yeah, it was Mother Lode Christian always after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 65 was the last year they graduated a class from the old school. And then 66 was they graduated at the new school.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in the service at that time.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that the Mother Lode Christian took over the old school and didn't just let it fall apart.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's been nice about keeping history. That's one of the buildings that have been kept up around here
Yeah.
because of care.
Yeah. Like I used to remember, even like out of service, I used to remember, right, that next block up there, used to be a double-story building up there.
Mhm.
Then top part burned, and people lived bombing underneath burned too, so it was right next to Reed's Hospital. It was right next to where that used to be.
Reed's Hospital?
Yeah, it was right up there. It was Sunshine, Reed's Sunshine, where they got that marker.
Where the little park is over
Yeah,
there?
yeah. That was a hospital?
Yeah,
Sanitary.
yeah, kind of a hospital. Yeah.
It was insane people.
Whoa, for sane people?
It was called a sanatorium.
Yeah,
Sanatorium.
for
Sanatorium,
crazy
but-
people. It was for.
Yeah.
Of course, that time, if you, they didn't know what crazy people were. Like,
How long was that? How long was that there? I mean, from
That
what
long
time?
time.
to
He
time?
was there when.
there's a park, go by the park up there, right across from the museum. On the side, there's that little stuff there, there's a little plaque that talks about it.
Okay.
And then you can also check in, museum will have deal on it.
When that museum, what was it before it was a museum?
Ladies auxiliary,
Ladies Auxiliary
yeah,
for Tuolumne?
yeah,
Yeah, they used to have dances there, didn't they?
yeah, well, it was not for VFW, it was just,
Yeah, yeah. Was it Ladies of Tuolumne?
Yeah.
What did they call them back then? Was it?
More trees,
Yeah.
the beautification.
I mean, wasn't that the wife of the owner of the mill?
because Mill actually built this town.
The mill actually
all
built the town. Yeah.
All these old houses. And you could get, if you want to get some firewood, you have these blocks, but like this big that way, you get a whole dump truck for about $1.
Oh yeah.
Because Bill had so many of them, he said, I want a load, and you bring your load, and they dump it there, and you'd have to stack it. In fact, everybody used to have little sheds or something for put wood in, because everybody had stoves, back in those days.
They had to cook on them to keep heat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did have gasoline and stuff like that, but mostly the heat was old wood stove.
Was there a lot of smoke in the town from
No.
all the wood stoves and
No.
the mill and all that?
No, it's pretty well built,
Pretty well ventilated.
yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, I
blew
mean, the
out.
whole town here, because it's not like LA all closed in.
Yeah.
There's plenty of place for the smoke to go.
What do you remember about? It seems like Tuolumne, even to this day, has high water table. Like I mean, there's a lot of old wells still in Tuolumne that are
Yeah.
full, and they hardly ever go dry.
Now, I hear a lot more going dry lately.
Yeah.
Of course, you got more population too.
Do you remember? Did you have a well on your
I
property?
don't know, we dug wells for, I don't see it anymore, but the old Cherokee Road is. That was when I was kids, me and my dad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Did we cover it all?
I think so. Can you think of anything that you remember growing up, or?
I can remember one time, my dad was lucky because he got by the forest fire, it was much kind of the fire circled him, and he got out of there. But he was only 57 when he died, but I remember him because he was pretty mild-mannered guy, but then when he got mad at his kids, he'd go get the racetrack. We knew it was time to behave.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, your grandparents lived here too?
Yeah,
Okay.
my grandmother, her brother was a guy related to Dalton Gay.
Okay.
That's why they hadn't seen each other about 41 years, so
Now, how long were your grandparents here? Did they,
I'm not sure how
were
long.
they here, they came to work at the mill? Is that why they came to
I don't
Tuolumne?
remember my grandfather worked because he was pretty old.
Okay. Okay, now did your mother and father, did when did they come to Tuolumne? Do you
I'm
know?
not sure. Well, during the Dust Bowl, my dad.
During
But
the
my
Dust
mother
Bowl?
came from, she came from Seattle, Washington.
Okay, were her family timber oriented? Is that why they came to Tuolumne?
No, I don't think.
Okay, and but your dad's family came
Out of the
because
Dust-
of the Dust Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they were just seeking work.
Yeah,
And,
I just got a kick one time. Some guy was about 24, he said, they were having emergency down to the box factory, the mill. You know, when they built through like 3-foot blast, and they had bombs down there.
Mm.
Anyway, he did what,
How many blasts?
3 short ones? That was for emergency. Anyway, my dad been working 60 hours there, and some of the kids said, I'm tired, you know, about 24 or something like that. Anyway, boss of it said, look at him, he's been here 60 hours, and he's still going.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a strong worker. Of course, back in those days, a lot of people were strong workers.
So your dad came probably right in the mid 30s, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
something like that. I could have been a little later, but they wanted to get out of the dust.
Do you happen to remember how many people might have passed away at that mill? Was there a?
Yeah,
'Cause I know your dad was one, but there had to have been other casualties.
I didn't hear of too many.
Not too many.
I haven't heard too many. Of course, they follow a lot of safety rules down there. Well, they broke that one because my dad was supposed to have another guy go with him because he was supposed to be two.
Oh yeah. Man.
Well, Alan, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing your memories of Tuolumne.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think of anything, we can do this again and maybe cover some things we might have forgotten about. But
Biggest thing I remember is Civil War and stuff like that.
yeah.
And my other brother used to coach for a while. But you mean Jerry Downser?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Domser.
Yeah.
Now there's still Domsers around today.
Yeah, but Jerry Downser pulled on it, and they were undefeated for about 5 years. Nobody could defeat them.
I think his would it be his son or his grandson is still coaching. I think it was Tyler Domser.
What was that? What was the Indian guy's name? Not Kelvin.
One of the days was it?
No, I don't think it was Dave, but he used to go to Pentecostal church when I went there. He
He was one of the main pullers.
well, he was that anchor man.
Yeah.
And he was good. They never got to be with him. But he got a raw deal.
He got a raw deal.
Like the church.
Oh.
Church guy, he said, girls gotta come in dresses. And kind of got on him about a few things, but I was trying to dig up, but he quit, but he went back to it after that, but the guy was no preacher to me that we had up there. I think what it was, about when the church was closing,
Mm-hmm.
I think they were sending us there was preachers so they could close.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was really nice talking to you, Alan. I'm glad we got some history on camera. And
No. Now you go to the museum, they do have a lot, and they got different books showing, like the mill, when the mill was
yeah,
built. They got.
it's always fun hearing the history straight from somebody who saw it.
Yeah.
You know, and you've been in this town forever. I mean, you got a long history and on a lot of different things that you got perspectives on things that we'll never have.
Yeah. Like the old mill,
You know.
Washington.
Well, anyways, this was Tuolumne Legends
Yeah.
with Sgt R, Alan Comer, and Dan Hillier.
Yeah, I remember when guy from Bell, when he had the trains over here after got out, he had 13 restaurants over here and the trains running around, right over here in the corner. And if they would have kept that, they would have been something, would have drawn money today.
When Glenn Bell
Glenn
tried
Bell.
to do the theme
Yeah.
park,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that just fell through.
Well, he was getting ripped out from above and below. He thinks it hell. I remember same time they had another millionaire come in. He wanted to build a bowling alley next to Walmart. And all their offices were in different places. This guy in finally just cut down and said, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back here. Next day, one of those offices was under one roof.
Wow.
Yeah, because they lost $2 million here. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. A lot of money trying to build up Sonora, trying to build up the town.
Yeah, well, he's just from bowling, but
Yeah. He just wanted a bowling alley.
But like I say, Bill, but then at one time they were saying, well, can we put the fairground? Because you got 20. We said, bring it up here Westside. We'll put it in one corner and lose it. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to go out of Sonora because they'd lose all that money.
Yeah.
And we'd have plenty of room for it up here.
That's another battle in the.
That's been that way
in the rivalry.
forever.
Yeah. Then there was some outfit that had Westside. There's two guys that had it, and they took out $1 million bond. And they showed it. It didn't show damn bit of proof they spent $1 million. So county and said, you're bankrupt. Get out of here.
Oh wow.
And they sold it. There was another company that took it over. They were cheapskates, so it was, they had an advertisement that you come here and you could get so many lottery tickets. So you go there, but you had to buy land before you could get the lottery tickets. And then Snow asked them to build a little water place out front, you know, to hold water. They didn't want to do it. Those Snow said, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And it was course play. It was called course, something like that. Course mobile home, something like that. And they sold this train here, and the federal judge said, you go back and bring it back.
Oh, good.
Because it wasn't theirs, huh?
Yeah. In fact, we got 4 engines in Colorado. You know where I-70 is? Going up there, there's a train park up there. There's 4 of our engines there. 2 in Fisher Camp and 2 in Roaring Camp. Roaring Camp's over by Monterey.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 8 is in Colorado.
Yeah,
That
there's,
one you have the picture of?
yeah, there's more than that. There's 4 over there. Then the rest is just, I think they scrapped the rest. So,
How many total were there? Like
I
14?
think at least about 20 or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
20.
yeah. Well, let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, 3 was a switch engine.
Yeah, I think I think you're pretty close to, yeah. I have a list of
all the
their
trains?
rolling stock,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I think he's pretty close, it's pretty close
So
to.
about half of them survived.
Yeah,
Like 4 in Colorado, 2 down in Monterey,
2
one-
Fisher Camp.
2 down in Fisher Camp.
And 1 here, 7.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute, 7, 4, that's 9.
9 that we can account for.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad at least we got 1.
Yeah, but like I said, Federal just made them go bring it back. That's the same one that did on the lottery tickets.
Yeah.
That's the one Supervisor told get the hell out of it. And like I said, it was 2 people, $12 million bond, and spent it all, and did no improvement over there. That's one, she went up and said, it's bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's when the Indians bought it. So now it belongs to them.
But how about one of the only couple other things that we have left are just a couple old donkeys, old donkey engines around. One in front of Westside
Yeah,
entrance, and there's one on the back road over here. It's the top fell off, but
okay,
That's the original steam engine for the mill. That was the mill, what powered the mill.
Yeah.
The
The
one
one
that's
with
over
the-
here in the corner?
yeah, that has the top kind of
Yeah, if you look at it, yeah, if you look at that,
That was 70 years old, it was still running.
Yeah.
They had no
70
problem.
years old, still running.
Yeah, they had no problem with it.
yeah, that was powering the mill when, when they went on strike, they were still powering the mill with that steam engine.
Wow.
Yeah, and this burner over here,
hmm
where my dad fell in the sawdust was right next to it. There was a building just right next to it. It fed sawdust to all the fireboxes. There was a bunch of fireboxes. Those things were hot too to get by it. You had to open up every once in a while and check them out. They were real hot.
What? I mean, what was your dad? Why did he have to go near the sawdust? What was?
They
Why?
were just checking. It was checking to make sure it was going down. 'Cause,
Oh, so there was no railing or anything.
well,
So
they were
he,
railing up there, but
he was looking, and it.
yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows if he fell, but everybody. A couple folks tried to say he could commit suicide, but you always get those, you know.
Yeah.
After he died, then I went through high school without, didn't have a dad. So.
Yeah. Did your mom stay single the rest of her life?
Yeah, she was still here when I got out of service in '79. I forget what year she died, but it was about 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah. How old was she? Do you remember?
61, I think.
61. But now you're 82 now?
81.
81. Longevity there.
Yeah.
And how old's your brother?
He's 80, and the other one is 79.
So they're still going too.
Yeah, and they both got kids, and their kids are married.
Great.
Well, I won't say married. They were married, but Mike, that's my middle brother, he passed away at 48, my nephew.
48?
They said he had a massive heart attack. They said he went and sat down, 1 minute he was there, next minute he was gone.
Now, what year did you graduate, Ellen?
59?
59?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in the same class with Ron Parker?
Yeah.
Okay, and,
My brother, 59 too.
okay, yeah.
Guy was close in high school, well, in grammar school, kindergarten. I was 6 or months. He said, you better
John-
stay back.
John and Jim Hodge, were they in your?
Yeah.
Okay,
John and Jim Hodge?
yeah.
They don't happen to be related to the Hodges,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they were twins, weren't they?
I think
Jim?
so.
Yeah. Yeah, and then,
Yeah, I'd like to get, in the future, talk to some Hodges and even some Whiteheads too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history.
yeah.
Yeah, we had the fire truck we had was a 57 old Dodge truck.
Oh yeah, they still got it, yeah.
Yeah, I still have like that. And we had like an old pumper, like one they have over Columbia, those old pumpers like that. That's all we had. We didn't have protection like we got now.
And those are all volunteer over
Yeah,
the
it's
years.
still all volunteer, yeah, except for, well, it's three positions now. Usually one position, and then they went up to 3.
Now you said your dad was on a fire at one point too. You got
Well,
surrounded.
It was surrounded. In those days, they could take you off the street, you know, they say, you come with us.
We got a fire to fight.
Yeah, well, they said quit that, because this one guy says, I got a bad heart. And they took him anyway, and he died out there, so that's why they quit it, because.
Yeah. Liability, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you say no, you say no. But
Yeah,
I mean, was this kind of like jury duty? You had fire duty?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, they
Exactly.
say-
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they just say you
Yeah,
come.
pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
And
Wow.
you pick you up. Cause, I mean, everybody fought fire then, but
Yeah.
now they say you have to be trained.
Oh, of
Hey.
course.
Um,
You remember what fire that was when your dad was surrounded?
no, he
He
would,
just told you about it?
yeah.
Yeah. And what, do you remember a lot of house fires in Tuolumne?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Back a couple of years ago, at one, or like one where John Street and Tuolumne CA, they had that fire down there.
Mm-hmm.
That was my old teacher.
Really?
Yeah, he was about, what was it? Well, he's older than me, so.
Mm-hmm.
But they rebuilt that, that was one of my old teachers. Walmart, McDonald Street ends at the very end. There was a house that burnt down there a couple of years ago.
Now, do you have a family plot up here at
I
Carter's?
know my brother does, but
Is your mom and dad here in Carter's?
yeah, they're in Carter.
Yeah.
Your mom, dad, grandfather, grandmother. Me, I just say, burn me when I'm on.
Yeah, right.
The cheapest way.
My uncle Corbello, I believe, you remember Corbello growing up, Uncle Corbello?
Oh, man,
Yeah.
not bad.
I grew up in the White House over here on Main on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That was with the big green barn.
Yeah,
And then there was an old house right there on the corner that had burned down too.
yeah.
Um,
Before the ball field was put over there.
But across the street
Yeah.
where those new houses are,
Yeah.
they're right there on the corner, the Willow, Main.
Here, fires all the time when the house is burning.
A lot of old, probably
Yeah.
wire and stuff. And
Well, like
everything.
mine caught on fire one time, and
when,
Yeah, it
when was
caught-
that?
right behind the museum.
Yeah, I know, but when did your house catch on fire?
I'm not sure, but I could find out because I got a paper on it.
Yeah.
But,
But was it what caused it?
well, I had flu that it went through the flu or something.
Oh, your wood stove?
Yeah, I don't have a wood stove anymore. That was a little trash burner.
Yeah.
But they had fire trucks in the aisle behind the museum. There must have been 50 fire trucks.
They were on it that day.
Yeah, well, it was like this. It was dry, and plus I got a propane tank. I had a propane.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. I called it in, and then again, when I walked down here and told them where they had, walked back, and I was back before they got up there.
Oh wow.
Of course, it's all volunteer.
Yeah.
And then once they got up there, all my drum street was just loaded with fire trucks. And the alley down was loaded. They even had a pickup from Columbia College out there.
Wow.
So it's the summertime, I mean, they'll jump on fires real quick. But like I said, when we was kids, we didn't have fire near as big as you have now. You know, over 100,000 acres.
Yeah.
We may go up to maybe 1,000 acres. Was a big one. I think the biggest one before was a Grant fire.
The Grant fire.
Yeah, 800 acres, something like that.
Well, then there was a complex in the 80s, right?
Yeah. Then
My gosh, then.
and
Was it that long ago?
well,
I mean, that's because I was around then.
I mean, standing over here, and you could see it looked like an atomic cloud, you know, because it's the second in the air. Then, well, in 92, they had one back over here, and I guess the relations that run past the school, like Mount Eden or something, whatever it is, they had one back that way. And sure, then, yeah, every year I think we have a forest fire.
Yeah.
It's something that's always ever-present danger, isn't it?
Well, what happened? Indians used to burn it out here, clear it out. And they got away from it. I said, oh, we gotta save all this, like Sierra Club. Oh, we gotta save it. Let's save it. So, and at the time, they had bark beetles in them. And you don't want to stop bark beetles. Only stop that is remove the whole tree. And Sierra Club, we gotta save it for the wood, spotted owls, because there's no other place. And they count more spotted owls in not in oak grove or by the regular forest than they did in by Sierra Club out there. No bad thing, loggers go too far their way, and the Sierra Club goes too far its way.
Yeah. I remember that was probably like the first protest I had ever been to was in the mid-90s when they're doing the spotted owl, trying to shut down the mill and everything. I remember being right down in front of the forest office.
Oh, really?
On Greenlee Road.
Yeah.
And yeah, spotted owl was a big thing. But now I had
Oh, that makes you
was
cry.
fortunate enough to go on some trips, and we talked with some foresters from SPI, and there's more owls now than there was back then, mainly because of the cutting. There's a certain part of clear cutting that helps the owls, because the owls can't maneuver very well in a thick forest. So actually opening up some of the forest actually provided more owls habitat.
Yeah, but, well, I used to get kicked out. Well, Sierra Club, they go sue everybody, and yet they had about 100 houses burned down, and one of the big fires down south. Nobody could sue them, which is not right. I mean, they're gonna sue everybody, why can't they be sued?
Right.
You know, that's occurred to me too.
Yeah, because I mean, all those houses broke down because they were trying to say, we gotta save all of those trees, you know.
You're not the only one that's had that idea. It's
Anyways, I think we got a lot.
Well, Alan, thank you. Thank you.
I could help.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time.
They were good times, weren't they?
Yeah, a real good time.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go out and hike out in the mountains or go fishing or something like that.
Kids don't really have the freedoms we did growing
No.
up, do they?
Nowadays you go get a fishing license, they want at least $40.
I don't remember ever getting a fishing license.
No, I mean,
License.
of course, when you're kids, you don't need a license.
Yeah,
I don't think it's under 16.
good stuff. Alrighty then.